Everyone, welcome back to another Meet the Pros interview. Today, I've got Teno Cardoso, another one of our UAG members in 2021. My name is Sam Fiorella. I'm the head administrator here at Echo Means Business. Welcome, Teno.
How you doing, Sam?
Doing excellent, excellent. Always good to see you. Thanks
Good, good.
for agreeing to sit with me for a few minutes and hopefully get the audience to know you a little bit better.
Yes, sir. No problem.
So why don't you, I'm going to let you introduce yourself, tell everybody, your name, business name. Well, everybody knows your name. It's written down on the bottom left, but your business name and, where you're located.
What's up, everybody? My name is Teno Cardoso. I'm the owner of AJs Lawn Care here in New Braunfels, San Marcos, Texas. And our company does mostly regular lawn maintenance, some landscaping, some tree trimming, a lot of bush trimming, but mostly your routine maintenance we do.
That I would never know you're from Texas with that logo on your chest.
Proud Texan.
Yeah, I've not, I don't think I've ever met a Texan that wouldn't say they're a proud Texan.
Yeah,
So
right.
let's, you mentioned a lot of bush maintenance or trimming.
Yes, sir.
Why do you do so much of that?
We do, well, kind of fell in our laps. We got the opportunity to do model homes in a new neighborhood that was being built in New Braunfels. And the way the neighborhood's set up, it's a fenced in community or gated community. Within the community, they have names for separate sections. So at, say, High Forest, they have a model home. And then at Copper Ridge, they have another model home. So like every 3 or 4 streets there's a model home, and we take care of all of them in the neighborhood. And there's just tons of landscaping, tons of bushes, cactus, all kinds of crazy stuff. So we spend a lot of time trimming.
So what's on your truck then, or what's on your trailer to manage all of that?
We use the Echo 2020s, the hedge trimmers, and then we use a lot of the Shindawa, kind of like the PAS system
Hmm.
for articulating head trimmers and stuff like that.
Yeah. And how many people work with you?
I just have me and another guy.
All right, cool. That's the vast majority of our audience is solopreneurs or, 2, 3 men type shops. It's not everybody, of course, within the community, but I would say the vast majority for sure are solopreneurs or small business operators.
Oh yeah.
When you say that those contracts fell in your lap, uh, I'm assuming that they didn't just fall in your lap. You had to do something to, for me, what do they say? That success is where, preparation meets opportunity or something like that.
Yeah,
I forget
yeah,
what
it
the
was
saying is. Uh,
definitely the opportunity, right place, right time. And we started with one, and it was actually a private owner that bought the model home, and so we kind of worked with the neighborhood, the HOA, in taking away a lot of the signage and the stone and stuff like that, kind of make it more like a personal home instead of the model home. And so then they're just like, well, hey, we got one here that we're trying to sell. So you want to do that one? You want to take care of this one? And it kind of just went from there.
oh, that's good. And the how long have you been in business?
But this is our 5th year.
Fifth year, excellent. And what's the have you had like has it been pretty steady for the last 5 years, up and down, turbulent times? Give us a sense of your history.
Yeah. First year was like a freight train hitting the brick wall and kind of realizing what's involved in running a lawn care business. I mean, from I kind of jumped straight into it. I come from an oil field background, and so um, spending time at home was my reason. And when I first started, I had money saved and whatnot, and so I was doing like maybe 4 properties a day, going to eat lunch with the kids, relaxing the rest of the day. And then it got to the point where I was like, I'm out of money and I'm not making enough money. And it's like October. And so, business slows down here. Grass goes dormant down here in the South where most of our yards are Bermuda. And so I was like, man, what am I going to do now? And so that kind of got the hustle out to get more leads, more properties and stuff like that. But after that crash course of the first year, going to the second year, I had more of an idea of what I needed to do as far as operations goes. And we've steadily been doubling every year. So
And did you start full time right away, or did you start part time and then jump in?
Yeah, I mean, specifically full time, you could say, but I wasn't working full time. I was spending a lot of time at home, a lot of time with the kids and stuff like that. But yeah, I've been full time since the beginning. So with no idea what I was doing. So it was definitely a crash course in getting
All
into
right,
it.
so that's a pretty big leap of faith to just start a business without really knowing what you're doing. What made you want to start in this business?
Well, see, AJ's Lawn Care. AJ was my brother-in-law, and he passed away in 2015. He was just turned 21, and he was actually coming to my house. We lived in San Antonio at the time, and his car broke down on the highway, and he was in the far right lane, and it happened so quick that he couldn't get over, so he was just steadily slowing down, and the 18-wheeler hit him, and so he passed away. And
Oh,
my
I'm
mother,
sorry to hear that, man.
yeah, uh, his mom and her husband, they had a lawn service, and he worked with them. But the for years prior to that, he lived with us off and on, and he'd always talk about starting a business and stuff like that, and having dreams and whatnot. And so that's the reason for AJ's Lawn Care, why we named it AJ's. And so
I love that. That's a great story.
yeah,
Wow. I mean,
that's kind of
that's got to be one of the most original, anyway, stories about why people have started this business.
yeah, yeah. Well, it was the old field went to crap in like 2014, 2013, 2014. And that was the second time I went through that in the old field. It happened before in '08. And it goes from, I mean, you're making 200K plus a year to 40K, and just having to switch like that. And I mean, I don't know, most oil field guys, they spend all the money, they don't save anything. And so I kind of want to spend more time with the kids. My kids are getting big. My oldest is 17, and my youngest is 10. And so I missed a lot of holidays, birthdays, all that stuff. And so I was like, why not do it now and just jump in? So that's what I
How
did.
are you, if you've been doubling every year, that's fantastic. Congratulations. But are you not back in the same situation where you're working all the time and not spending time with your kids?
Yeah, yeah, and that's what happened last year. I kind of, I guess I took on as much as I could. It wasn't more, but turning down customers and stuff like that, I hated doing that. And so October of last year, I met a guy on Instagram who was in San Marcos, and so he was starting his business. We started talking, and I was like, "Hey, why don't you come work for me part time? Maybe if you want to come full time, we could talk about it. But help me out." And it was kind of like, okay, now what do I do? Because again, I'm in that same situation where it's wintertime, fall, and so you got to hustle work. And so for from October to now, I mean, it's been more than I could have even imagined. I thought I was just gonna go broke, but we hustled work, and I mean, I got lucky to find him because he has the same mentality in getting work and staying busy and getting out there. And what did you do for your business today? You know what I mean? And so we kind of made a good connection as far as working together. And so it's really worked out really good. And so we got nothing but high hopes for this year. We're just going to pack the schedule. And so this year is going to be, for me, saving money and getting ready for the following year to where I can hire another guy and then kind of take a back seat to it and let them roam. So,
So he's full time with you now.
oh, right now he's working Monday, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays, and then Thursdays and Fridays, depending on his schedule, he might work too. So we kind of just work around on those 2 days. But yeah, for the
Awesome. What's one of the biggest challenges that you had with bringing on somebody and having somebody work for you?
finding the work. I mean, it's always been there. Like probably the past 2 years, I've hardly done any advertising. A lot of my work's been word of mouth. I have really, really good customers. And in New Braunfels, Texas, it's just exploding with new neighborhoods and commercial businesses and stuff like that. And so the grass is there. There's no grass for everybody in Central Texas. And so it was just at that point of time, getting through the winter and not having, work already lined up. That was our main obstacle. But I mean, it, like I said before, it just kind of fell into our laps. But we did a lot of landscaping this year, and that's like kind of outside of my box. I've done a little here and there, to get through the winters and stuff like that. But we've done a lot more and getting more experience, and so it all turned out really, really well. Would I suggest it to anybody? Probably not, because I don't know what their situation, their demographics, where they're at, or how the businesses where they're at. I would definitely say it's better to save up and prepare and stuff like that. But I just wanted to get into it and take a break, I guess, a little bit.
Yeah, I can't say I blame you, but that is one of the biggest mistakes that a lot of people make. Actually, you've done what a lot of people don't do. Most of the guys that I've talked to recently have said, "Well, we started part-time, and then when I had enough business, I went full-time." You just jumped a full hog into it.
Yeah.
So it's a great lesson learned. Did you have any business experience? Because you say you came out of the oil fields. Any
Yeah.
business experience before that?
I've been before the oil field, I was in restaurant business and I was in warehouse business, but I've always worked my way up from the bottom. I've always been that mentality to get as far as I can wherever I'm at. And then, if it's a restaurant closing, new owners, whatever stuff happens, and I'd have to start all over again. I've always kind of pulled myself up and built up to where. So I've been a market leader. I've been a training manager. I've run training restaurants. I was a supervisor in the oil field. I had my own shop. We did pressure testing for oil field equipment, piping and stuff like that. And I ended up getting my own shop. And so I've always had it in my mind to never stop, to always want more, want more, want more. And I mean, it's good. There's a good side and a bad side to that, because of course the family, they take the brunt of you not being there, but my wife, my kids, I mean, I've always worked a lot, so that's what they're used to, luckily, what I mean? So, but for somebody doing it from new, it can be tough on the family and stuff. But that's kind of how I've always been. My mentality always been to do better and do greater. So
You've definitely got the entrepreneurial spirit in you and attitude, that's for sure. Um, your learning curve, though, it's one thing to be entrepreneurial while you're working for somebody else and having that drive, but starting your own business is a whole other ball of wax.
uh,
The learning curve obviously must have been very difficult in that first year. You've already referenced, oh crap, it's October and I haven't made enough money yet.
yeah.
But how about the actual running of the business? What was that learning curve like for you? Learning how to actually run a business in terms of the insurance, certifications, all of that, taxes, all that stuff.
It was kind of a lot of people. I mean, in our industry, I mean, there's so many people that do it as a side job or just do it at the weekends or do it for extra cash and stuff like that. And so there's tons of people that don't do taxes and don't, start register as a legitimate business or get licensed in whatever field that they're doing. Me coming into the business, I wanted to be as legit as I could. Um, I want to get to the point. I want to compete with the big companies that are in New Braunfels in our area and stuff like that. And so um, I jumped in and I went to the comptroller's office. I was like, "Hey, I have a DBA. Here it is. What do I have to do as far as tax goes?" And they're like, "Oh, okay, yeah, we'll tax you. We'll tax you real quick." And so I'm not thinking, I'm like, okay, I got to do this. And I, watching videos on YouTube and then seeing everybody saying what you have to do to be a legitimate business and stuff. So like, okay, I got to do this, this, and this. But then come the first quarter of the year and you're like, okay, you owe us $1,000 in taxes. And you're like, oh, I don't have $1,000. And so, yeah, it was definitely a piece by piece learning curve into budgeting is a big, big thing. My wife is like, the budget queen. So she got folders and envelopes and trapper keepers and all kinds of stuff for budgeting. And I'm the exact opposite. Like, okay, yeah, I got it. I got it. I got it. And so budgeting is a big thing. If you know your bills, you know what you got to pay. You have to have a budget. I mean, there's no other way to do it. And that was probably my main obstacle, or as far as you're saying, like a learning curve is learning how to budget for the business, especially when you don't know what's going to break or what equipment's going to go down and where you're going to need something new for a specific job or whatever. But yeah, that was the biggest thing.
Well, you're new to the UAG program this year, so welcome to the group. When we talked originally, you had applied to be a UAG member. We did a couple of interviews before you were accepted into the program as one of our members. Uh, what is it that maybe now you're talking to the bigger audience, you're not just talking to me because you're already here, you don't have to impress me at all, but talk to everybody else that's following you on our platform and in our community. What do you want to share with them? What are you hoping to get across this year in 2021? What can people expect from you, from the content you're going to be developing?
Pretty much, I just want to see. I mean, everybody likes. I mean, I love watching the bigger guys as far as social media goes. Seeing their products, what they're doing next, and building their businesses and stuff like that. And I know everybody else does too. But I kind of want to focus on the little guy. You know, the guy that's out there pushing on 12 yards a day by himself. You know what I mean? That's drinking Gatorade until he throws up. I mean, I was there. I'm still there. So that's kind of my viewpoint, to come across to everybody like I'm just a regular guy. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to. I don't want anything from Echo. I don't want anything from any big companies. I just want to keep it real. I mean, show that somebody who's out here grinding with everybody else, can still, get to a level that they want to be at. And so I'm kind of big on the little guys, the workers, not just, the big companies and stuff like that. So I kind of want to reach those people, the guy that goes on YouTube and tops in first year in lawn care, what I mean? Well, maybe they'll find me, right? And kind of see what I've been through, and anything to help. I'm big on sharing and community and getting together, networking and stuff like that. And so yeah, pretty much the $25 mo guy.
Well, I think again, there's so many guys in that boat and women that are in that boat of all ages. So I think that's a valuable story and great experience to share. And we hope that that mentorship is going to go a long way in this community. Well, thanks very much for taking the time and answering a couple of questions, and hopefully allowing everybody to get to know you a little bit better. For those of you that want to connect with, AJ's Lawn Care and Teno Cardoso, you could obviously follow on the mobile app, download the Echo Means Business mobile app. He's there. You can ask questions or engage with him there. Follow his content on Echo Means Business. But Teno, if somebody wants to get in touch with you outside of Echo Means Business, why don't you give your business social media or website a plug?
Okay, yeah, definitely. Mostly I'm on Instagram at Tino with AJ's Lawn Care. That everywhere I'm at, that's what it is. On YouTube's Tino with AJ's Lawn Care, same as Facebook. And so
Cool.
find me, message me, call me, whatever. It's cool.
All right. Well, we look forward to seeing what you're going to add to the community this year. Thanks very much. Have a good afternoon.
Yes, sir. You too.